Good evening, Gills fans. Welcome back to Gills in the Blood TV. It is Thursday night, which means two things. This season, it means a look back at the Tuesday night fixture, which was against MK Dons, before looking ahead to Saturday's game against now Paul Cook's Ipswich Town. Paul Cook was appointed beginning of the week. They picked up a good win against Accrington on Tuesday night, and we'll get into them in more detail a little bit later with the help of Martin Lambert, who you will be able to find on Twitter. And I'll give you his Twitter handle later on in the video. But first of all, a look back at Tuesday night. Like I say, we played Russell Martin's MK Dons, conceded after 3.5 minutes, didn't really touch the ball for the first 180 seconds of the game, it felt like. I think we'd had about 10% ball after 10 minutes, and it looked like it was going to be a really long and struggling evening for the Gills. But credit to Steve Evans and Stuart O'Keefe and Paul Rayner. Between the three of them, they managed to change things round. We started getting in the faces of MK Dons and stopping them playing out from the back. And suddenly we looked a lot better side, and we get a bit lucky in the sense that it's a really soft penalty. It's a stupid handball from the defender in the box after Ryan Jackson launches one of his well-known long throws into the danger area. And fair play to Jordan Graham, tucked it away with aplomb, sent the keeper the wrong way and smashed it into the roof of the net. And then we got another helping hand, didn't we? Big mix-up between the two centre-backs, I think it was. And Verdane Oliver found himself one-on-one with the goalkeeper. And after initially a little bit of a poor touch, he managed to get it out his feet and swept it past the on-rushing keeper to put us up 2-1. Jordan Graham then had a chance to make it 3-1, but smashed one wide off balance. And then we got caught with another sucker punch, which sort of sums up our season. It's always 1 or 2 steps forward and then 1 or 2 steps back. And it was frustrating to go in at the break level after, I think Tommy O'Connor got caught out from a short corner, and then the ball got played into our box and we didn't pick up the man. And 2-2 at the break. I think it was Warren O'Hara got the equaliser. We'd been at fault for one of the first 2 goals, so he'd made amends in that sense. But I thought second half, I thought we were really good. I think we restricted MK Dons to one real chance. That was the Andrew Sermon opportunity when he was through on goal, lofted it up high into the Brian Moore stand. We were resolute. We saw off both Cameron Jerome and Will Grigg. It's a testament to the back 4, the back 5, and especially the 2 centre-backs who I thought were really impressive throughout the game, especially after that dodgy first 14, 15 minutes. And then when our big chance came along, Connor Ogilvie finished it like a centre forward, didn't he? First time half volley from about 12 yards into the back of the net. It was right next to the keeper, in fairness, but he had absolutely no chance. Such was the pace. So big win, big 3 points, and 3 points against a good footballing side. So I did say on the MK1 podcast last week on their preview show that it would be an interesting battle. I think I mentioned it on the newly launched 3rd Tier podcast as well. So please go and check them out if you've not done so. Really excited to be part of that. I did mention that it'd be an intriguing battle between 2 contrasting styles, and I'm quite happy to sit here and talk about our style being the one that ultimately came out on top. But that is done now. We do have another game at the weekend where we take on this team. As I've already mentioned, Ipswich Town now under the stewardship of Paul Cook. Paul Cook, who has a really good record at this level, League 1 and League 2. He's taken Portsmouth out of League 1. He's taken Portsmouth out of League 2, Chesterfield out of League 2, Wigan out of League 1 into the Championship. He left that post earlier on in the season after all the troubles that they were having off the field and the restart programme in the summer. They eventually went down after a points deduction, which was really, really harsh because their form after the restart was as good as anything in the Championship, and it was a real shame to see, and unfortunately they're really struggling in our division now. But Paul Cook looks a really solid appointment for Ipswich Town, and I did mention on that already mentioned 3rd Tier podcast on Monday that I think they could be an outside bet for the playoffs now. Let's just hope that their momentum doesn't gain too much before Saturday afternoon for a 1 p.m. kickoff. What I'm going to do now, though, is leave you with the thoughts of Martin Lambert, who I have to say is one of the most happy inside information bits we've ever been sent on the channel. So thanks to Martin. You can find him at HDR Martin on Twitter, and I believe he is the go-to person for all Tractor Boys content. So here's his little piece ahead of Saturday's fixture.
Hello again, my friends. Martin here from Talking Town. Thank you all for asking me to give my preview for this weekend's fixture. Ipswich Gillingham, 1 p.m. kickoff. What's all that about? No idea. Anyway, Ipswich, a really good run of form at the moment. 3 wins on the bounce. Beat Hull who many in this division consider the strongest team. We beat them, and 1-0 kind of flattered them. It should have been more than that. We beat Doncaster, who absolutely blew our back doors off early part of the campaign, but we beat them. And then we've beaten Accrington and Stanley. Who were they? Exactly. But we beat them anyway. Good result. Stanley are really in a good bit of form themselves. That's a good result. We now sit just outside the playoffs, and many Town fans are starting to believe and dream. And of course, Paul Cook has recently been appointed Ipswich Town manager, the 18th in our club's history. And many fans are now seriously starting to think this could be something special. Are we the team that has the momentum wave coming into the back end of the campaign? There's always one team that does it. Is it our turn? Is it us? So really, when you ask me, what do you expect from this weekend? No idea. Nobody does. It's Paul Cook's first game in charge. So if they tell you what to expect, they're either a Wigan fan, a Portsmouth fan, or they're lying. I'm not sure of all three. I don't know. But no, we don't really know what to expect. Probably a 4-2-3-1, possession base, what we've been told. But I imagine, being a successful manager like Paul Cook, he'd adapt to what he's given. So an interesting game. Looking forward to it. And our score prediction, I'm going to go with a 3-1 Ipswich Town. Yeah. Enjoy. Great podcast you've got there. Bye. Mwah.
Thank you for that, Martin. Really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to send us that short clip. Like you've said, it's tricky to gauge what it's going to be about in terms of an Ipswich point of view on Saturday, because it's going to be Paul Cook's first game in charge. I know he was in the stands for the win over Accrington in the week, but he had no influence over the team selection, I believe. A lot of talk, like you've said, 4-2-3-1, possession-based football, but like you've mentioned, he's a decent manager at this level. I'm sure he'll adapt to different games, different opposition and different situations, but he's got a very decent squad to work with, hasn't he? The likes of, Gwion Edwards, James Norwood, they're the top scorers in the league this season, but only got 5 each, which I found a little bit weird, to be honest. I thought someone had a lot more than that, but I know you've had injuries to Ollie Hawkins and Caden Jackson. And yeah, in terms of goal scoring, there's only 7 teams that have scored less than Ipswich on the road, which again I found a little bit strange, such as the talent at their disposal. Luke Chambers, 35 years old, has played 28 games this season, will bring leadership and experience to the team. Andre Dazelle, I think, will thrive under Paul Cook, ball-playing centre midfielder, son of the famous Ipswich midfielder Jason Dazelle, who played in the Premier League in the early 90s. Alan Judge, loads of experience and ability at this level. Luke Matheson, who they've got in on loan, hasn't started a lot of games since arriving in January. This is the kid that made his Rochdale debut at 15, but he's another good player. And Troy Parrott in on loan from Tottenham. I think he was at Millwall earlier on in the campaign, and that was cut short. And of course, 11 clean sheets in 25 games for our favourite number 1, Thomas Holy. Be good to see Thomas back at the Priestfield, but unfortunately we won't be there to greet him. But yeah, looking at the comparative form, last 6 in the league, Gills win, loss, drawn, win. So 10 points from 18 available. Ipswich, 3 wins, 2 draws and a loss in the same period. So they've taken 11 points over the last half a dozen. In terms of home and away, Gills at the Priestfield have just started to pick up again after a rough trot. Back-to-back wins in our most recent 2 against MK Dons and Bristol Rovers. There's been another win in there against Crewe. 2 defeats and a draw gives us 10 points from 18 again. So it mirrors our form over the last 6 home and away. And Ipswich very good on the road recently. 4 wins, a draw and a solitary defeat means that they've taken 13 points from the last 18 available. In terms of comparative home and away form, we sit 9th in the home form over the last 6. Ipswich are 3rd. And if you make it over the last 8, Gills drop off a little, 13th, and Ipswich drop to 6th. So a lot of parallels in terms of what's going on. Should make for an interesting game. Like I say, Ipswich have got good players. Paul Cook's going into a club that's got a very good squad that should be competitive at the top end of League One. And I know Steve Evans has said in his press conference today, we're going to have to be at it, and if we drop off, we'll probably get beat. But if we put in a performance like we did Saturday against Portsmouth, Tuesday against MK Dons, the game at Charlton, the game at Sunderland, then I'm confident we might be able to pick up a positive result. In terms of our team news, Steve Evans has alluded to the fact that he's going to give Kyle Dempsey and Verdane Oliver every opportunity to train ahead of the game on Saturday lunchtime. So they must have picked up knocks on Tuesday against Russell Martin's side. We know there's no Dominic Samuel or Callum Slattery. But if everybody is fit and available, then for me, I wouldn't change the team at all. So it'd be the same 11. Jack Bonham in goal, a back 4 of Ryan Jackson, Jack Tucker, Robbie Cundy and Connor Ogilvie. My midfield would be Stuart O'Keefe, Kyle Dempsey, Tommy O'Connor and Ollie Lee. And then Jordan Graham supporting Verdane Oliver. if everybody is fit, like I said. My bench would then be Sacha Bastien, Robbie McKenzie, James Morton, Alex MacDonald if he's fit and available after illness, Matty Willock, Tyreek Johnson and John Akindi. John Akindi, though, in decent form himself, so if Verdane doesn't make it, he can come into that side. And if Carl Dempsey doesn't make it, you could probably play Robbie McKenzie and move Stuart O'Keefe to the side of the diamond, or go with a double pivot in midfield and play 4-2-3-1. So a couple of options. Right, big question, as always, is the score prediction. I know Martin has gone for a very confident 3-1 win to Town. I am going to be confident in terms of Gill's chances, and I'm going to go for a score draw. Final score of Gillingham 1, Ipswich Town 1. And I'm going to back Jordan Graham to join Verdane Oliver in reaching double figures for the season in all competitions. Right, that is enough from me this evening. Thanks for watching as always. Please keep liking, retweeting, subscribing and doing all that you do. You know where we are on all 4 social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and Twitter. Like I've already said, please go and check out the new League One podcast, The Third Tier, which I'm very excited to be a co-host or a part of. I've not had a label given to me yet, but it's been set up by Tom Main, who's a Blackpool fan, and the first show that we did on Monday night was really, really good fun, and it's been well received, so that's a good sign. Fan Hub continues to grow, and the video for their new app will be at the end of this vlog. It is Friday tomorrow, so we're very close to the weekend, and until next time, up the Gills.